Hi. Thank you for attending today's reading. Let's begin. I just made one of the best decisions I've ever made. I cleaned my butt using water instead of toilet paper, and I promise you it feels really clean. And since the water was cold, made my butt feel fresh as hell. And really it's more hygienic as toilet paper won't clear everything. Lol, weird story. End of story. Next story. I got called a racist on a game for sticking up for a bullied black girl. Since there's so much racism happening right now, I thought I would tell a racist story that happened to me on a game called Habbo back in 2015. I am a white British girl. I love all people, so if I see someone bullying someone else, I act on it, not just because of their skin color. The victim was a black girl who was being called the N-word, and these two guys talking about slavery and telling her to go back to Africa, etc. No one on the game was helping her or caring about the scenario, even though there was 35 people at most in the room. I walked over there. The two guys were white but were Dutch. I never met them before, or the girl. I told the two guys to stop being racist assholes and to leave the girl alone, and told her she's beautiful no matter what she looks like. The two dudes took that offensively and found it weird I was defending her. They asked where I'm from, and I said the UK. They immediately started attacking me, calling me a tea drinker and to stop eating crumpets. They finally left after 40 minutes and got bored, and I'm still good friends with the girl to this day. I was bullied as a kid, so I never cared what people have to say about me, and I have pretty thick skin, so it didn't bother me. They also called me a racist against Dutch people for telling them they're racist. I wish Habbo would take the racism and harassment more seriously, because it happens way too often on that game. I do not play it anymore. End of story. Next story. I'm severely confused and disappointed. Earlier today in school, I was gonna go get me a Coke because I am a Coke addict. When I was about to head into the cafeteria, I heard someone playing a guitar. I go to check it out, and I was just standing there enjoying and wondering, how are they so good? Doing nothing wrong. Then a girl I knew just came up to me and told me not to talk to them. Me being insanely confused, I asked her why. She said I made them uncomfortable when I clearly didn't do sh*t. I just walked away for a little and then approached her again. She kept on telling me that I made the group extremely uncomfortable and never gave a complete reason. I just walked away and cried a little because I was severely confused, and I just had a sudden hate at myself. I don't know what I was doing wrong. Another incident was when I was going to the corner store. It was clear they saw me, and at corner of my eye I saw one of them flipping me off. Once again I am left completely bewildered because I didn't know what I was doing wrong. Someone please explain to me what I did wrong. I really want to change so that people feel comfortable with me. Edit September 18th. Thank you all for helping through a difficult thing in my life. I have had this problem for a long time, and I wanted to add this piece because I feel guilty for not adding it. So when I left the girl, I went to some other people that had a somewhat decent friendship going on. After I expressed my feelings and said what happened, they did what you guys were doing, trying to comfort me when I am having a hard time understanding bullies. They unraveled my heart free from resentment and self-hatred. One of them sealed it off by giving me a hug, and I just had this weird and awkward feeling in my chest, as if the last chain of resentment was pushed away. I guess I am not really used to getting this type of love from people. But now I am primed with this knowledge. I feel more relieved, and I feel more confident in making friends. I feel like I am able to see color within the black and white mirror. Edit 2. I'm in high school. End of story. Next story. My teacher accidentally showed the entire class another student's hentai. So when I was in class today, the kid in front of me was watching something on YouTube. My teacher that has Go Guardian shows teacher what site you're on, etc. Sees that he was on YouTube. So he confronts him and sends him to the office for not being on what he was supposed to be on. In our classroom, there is a big screen in which you can see the teacher's computer screen when it's connected. He must have forgot it was connected or wasn't expecting this. But he left it on looking through the kid's history. There was YouTube, and other things he wasn't supposed to be on. Then he pulled up very explicit hentai. The whole class started to laugh. Then he realized it was on. The embarrassment in the teacher's voice when he yelled, "Oh my gosh." It took him 6 long seconds for him to get off the tab of the kid's history, only to accidentally click on it again. I stopped laughing because I felt really bad for him. He closed out of the tab and didn't speak for the rest of class. The kid came back and the teacher was so embarrassed that he didn't say anything or get him in trouble. End of story. Next story. I accidentally pooped on my floor and my mum's boyfriend picked it up and cleaned it. So I was at home and clearly had diarrhea. I had a dressing gown on and no clothes underneath. I walked to my kitchen, realized I was going to poop. Tried running to the downstairs toilet but poop fell out and splattered on the floor. However, I still partly made the toilet. I walk out and my mum's boyfriend is stood there with tissue and my poop in his hand. That's when I realized he just cleaned up my shush ite. Well, let's just say he still doesn't know, and I don't know how I can keep this knowledge in my life. Ha. End of story. Next story. I literally cannot stop laughing. I don't know if anyone else will find this funny. But here goes. For as long as I can remember, my mom and dad have had this joke. Anytime she sees the show The Commish, on the guys on the TV, a DVD at a store, on a TV at the doctor's office, whatever, my mom will turn to my dad and say, "Hey, look, it's your favorite show." My dad will chuckle a little bit and that will be that. The funny thing is, I have never seen my dad actually watch that show. He's never tried to get me to watch it with him. Quoted it. Nothing. So finally I asked what the deal was and my mom told me the story. The first Christmas my mom and dad were engaged. My dad went to my mom's parents' house for the holiday and it was the first time he was going to meet them. He got really sick. Now, this is weird enough because in my entire 23 years of life I remember my dad being sick like 5 times. But apparently he had like a 103 fever and was practically delirious. So someone was going to change the TV channel while The Commish was on and my dad was like, "No. That's my favorite show." When he finally got better, someone asked him and not only did he not remember saying that, but he said he'd never even seen the show. I don't know why I find this so funny, but I've been laughing at this for 5 minutes. My mom has been making this joke for 25 years. End of story. That is all for today. If you want to support my automated channel, feel free to drop a like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.